The Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court's General Division is housed in the Court Tower of the Justice Center, a landmark group of buildings in downtown Cleveland. The General Division's goals are clear. The mission of the court is to provide a forum for the fair, impartial, and timely resolution of civil and criminal cases. In Cuyahoga County, there are 4 divisions within the Court of Common Pleas. In some Ohio counties, there are fewer separate divisions. In Ohio, some cases are heard by magistrates who are civil officers appointed by the court. The General Division of the Common Pleas Court hears both civil and criminal cases.
The difference between a criminal case and a civil case is a civil case is a dispute between 2 parties, and it involves an individual filing a civil complaint against another individual corporation and tries to seek a remedy through the court, and it is a private dispute between 2 parties. A criminal case, on the other hand, is the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. We represent the state of Ohio. On behalf of the state of Ohio, we bring a charge that exposes somebody to potential criminal penalties, including fines and incarcerations.
On a criminal case, how they find themselves in our courts, in the General Division Common Pleas Court, we are a felony court. How does it come to me and then appear in front of us in our arraignment room? Now that process, if you start at the very beginning, comes with an investigation or a police officer who starts their work. They then decide to charge the case. They present that case to a prosecutor who then will take the facts of that case and present them to the grand jury. The grand jury decides if there's a violation of whatever the code that has been put in place by our legislature. If the grand jury believes there's probable cause, then they indict the case. At that time, the case is indicted. It will appear for the first time in our General Division court here in the Court of Common Pleas, and they will appear in front of our arraignment judge. And at that time, if a lawyer has been retained, that lawyer would appear with their client, and if the lawyer is not retained and the individual before us needs a lawyer because of their inability to pay, we'll appoint a lawyer or a public defender. At that time, a bond is set, a judge is assigned, and at that point it then goes to one of our judges on our bench, and then the process continues in either resolve through dismissal, plea bargain, trial.
The Juvenile Division of the Common Pleas Court hears primarily delinquency cases involving minors or someone younger than 18 years old. It also hears cases of abuse or neglect, dependency, and paternity cases. The Probate Division hears all cases of adoption, guardianship appointments, eminent domain, and cases that involve estates, wills, and trusts. Probate judges also have the power to appoint people to certain boards, like the Cleveland Metro Parks. And finally, the Domestic Relations Division hears cases of divorce, dissolution of marriage, child custody, and spousal support. It's important to know that domestic relations does not hear cases of domestic abuse, but can issue family-related protection orders. Domestic violence cases can be heard in municipal courts or in the Common Pleas General Division.
In the General Division, where I sit as a judge, we have a number of specialty courts. Specialty courts have been created not only here in Ohio, but throughout the United States to deal specifically with issues that judges can concentrate on in trying to deal with the violation before them. Drug court is one example. Recovery court is the second one in that. We have a veterans court. We have a mental health docket. Those are in my general court. They have them in domestic court. They have them in juvenile court. And I think our trend in the United States is moving towards specialty courts so we can deal with a specific population and have educated ourselves as judges on that specific population.
Judges in Ohio are elected to the bench by the people, and they serve 6-year terms. To be on the ballot, judges must be licensed attorneys, having practiced law for at least 6 years. Often, they must win a party-affiliated primary election before getting on the ballot in a nonpartisan general election. If a judge leaves office during his or her term, a replacement is appointed by Ohio's governor. Unlike the other 2 branches of government, members of the judiciary are required to receive training and ongoing education. The judiciary is held to the highest ethical standard where even the perception of impropriety is not allowed.
The role of an attorney is enormous, and whether it's a civil or a criminal case.
the protection of the client is paramount within the guidelines of the Code of Professional Conduct. And he or she must expend every effort to make sure that in a criminal case, they receive the full protection of their constitutional guarantees, and in a civil case, that all relevant discovery has been pursued, that all investigation has been pursued, and that the interest of the client, whether he or she is a plaintiff or a defendant, receives the entire representation that is necessary in a case. Most attorneys with whom I've been associated do it because of a sense of responsibility, not only to the client but to the community at large, that this is how they can contribute to the community best. And I think that that's that professional commitment.
In Cuyahoga County, the Court of Common Pleas is the main trial court. With 34 judges and approximately 1.2 million people living in Cuyahoga County, the court handles tens of thousands of cases every year. Despite the volume and demands placed on the docket, the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court mission remains clear.
Most people just want to be heard. They just want to know that when they walk in the door, at the end of the day, whether they win or lose, they were fairly heard and that the law was applied appropriately and evenly to them.
It's the judicial system that allows the community to feel that without having to come to blows, without having to take matters into their own hand, that they can actually get a just resolution to any kind of conflict.
There isn't any person excluded from the opportunity to come into the justice system and have a wrong right, or have someone who has an injustice, have that injustice corrected. So anybody could walk into our justice system and have an opportunity to have our branch of government work through their issues.